This week on Council Bluffs News, an update on the Griffin Pipe closing, what the mayor and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce are projecting will happen with the plant holding 250 jobs. Shamrock Shuffle, people lace up their sneakers and show off their green for a fun run to the gold. And spring is here, which means burn season is in full swing. What landowners and firefighters need to know about the process of restoring native grasslands. That and more, all on this week's Council Bluffs News. Welcome to this week's Council Bluffs News. I'm Marie Zeitner. Monday, March 3rd, Griffin Pipe announced it's closing in early May. While the city is working to try to save the company and the jobs of 250 employees, the future of the plant is not favorable. We have more on this developing story. The city of Council Bluffs is on the fast track to economic growth.
There's a lot of good things happening in this community.
But an announcement earlier this month that one of its companies is going out of business has the city concerned for those affected.
They are significantly reducing their staff. In this case, the warrant notice said by 255 personnel, which is the entire personnel of Griffin Pipe.
U.S. Pipe out of Birmingham, Alabama bought out Griffin Pipe in February and realized they can carry out the work the plant does at other facilities.
Obviously, we're concerned that's 250 well-paying jobs.
The facility is scheduled to close on or around May 3rd.
To lose someone like Griffin is a pretty big blow to us, but we're going to do everything we can to help those employees.
Mayor Walsh, Bob Munt, and other Iowa officials spoke to the CEO of Griffin Pipe Products Monday, March 10th to see if there is anything they can do to prevent the shutdown.
We were hoping that we could be a part of the mix and help them to kind of weather the rough times.
If the economy were to recover, they may reopen the Griffin Pipe facility.
As for the employees, the city is going to work with Iowa Workforce Development Center to re-employ them.
We'll do a series of job fairs looking at other companies in the metropolitan area that could employ the workers in the same skill sets and those types of things. We'll start some work with Iowa Western Community College on retraining some of the employees that are out there that would like to retrain for new jobs.
The city plans to work with Iowa Workforce Development to help the workers polish their skills and resumes. The Chamber of Commerce believes the plant will stay viable in case market conditions change for the better, allowing the company to reopen its doors. As of right now, the facility on 9th Avenue in Council Bluffs is no longer producing pipes. Many locals gathered at Barley's Bar and Grill on March 15th to get a head start on St. Patrick's Day and get their green on in support of a worthy cause. IWTV student Samantha Lloyd has more.
Green. It's also green.
I think this is a great event. It gets the community together, gets people out, brings people to the downtown.
It's the first annual Shamrock Shuffle, supported by Bluffs Downtown and the Council Bluffs Parks and Rec Department.
It's our kickoff to the 2014 events calendar. We bring a lot of events to the downtown area, runs, walks, dances, lots of things, farmers market, and this is the kickoff to our 2014 season.
The proceeds on this day go to benefit the Teammates Mentoring Program, an organization started in 1991 to help students reach their full potential.
Yeah, I like the fact that this supported teammates. I think that's important to help the youth in the town, so yeah.
In addition to helping kids, the event is also a pleasant way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
It's a fun way to do things with your friends, probably doing something together anyway on a beautiful day like this. Come out and support the cause.
If you missed the event, Don't worry, there are plenty more activities offered by Bluffs Downtown in the coming months.
We're going to have 4 runs this year, but this is one of the runs. You can do a 1-mile walk or a 5-mile run.
This was the first ever Shamrock Shuffle, but plans are already in the works to make this an annual event. For your Council Bluffs News, I'm Samantha Lloyd.
To find out what events are coming up, go to mscb-inc.org or send them a message on Facebook at the Bluffs Downtown page. If you've ever seen smoke rising from fields while driving on the interstate in the Midwest, chances are it's a prescribed burn. Land fires are essential to the ground and are more beneficial than harmful if they're controlled the right way. To teach landowners how to properly and effectively burn their land, Hitchcock Nature Center teams up with the Loess Hills Alliance for a hands-on workshop Saturday, March 15th. Fires in general are dangerous.
We just walk away. Let's watch what happens here.
They spread quick, scorching everything in their path. Yet natural resource specialist Chad Gravy says good can come from burning the ground.
There's a connection between fire and the integrity, the health of the system.
The system of restoring nutrients into the soil of the land.
People are now using fire to stimulate growth of the native vegetation.
Since working with flames is risky, a fire ecology course at Hitchcock Nature Center shows landowners and firefighters the correct way to burn.
It's the private lands that need burned, and in many cases it's the private landowners that are doing the burning, and that's what we're trying to help facilitate.
March 15th, attendees work through a slideshow, learning everything from the objectives of a prescribed burn to physically carrying it out.
Let it pull away until it gets cool enough that you can get on the line and put out anything that's spreading in the fire break.
Before starting a burn, landowners need to have a crew, consider weather conditions, and have the right materials.
The other part of that preparation is having that good plan and knowing where to start with your ignition and how to ignite that fire in a way that doesn't let that fire just kind of rage across the landscape.
Wind is a significant factor in the role of a prescribed burn. If gusts are too high, Gravy says don't do it.
Fire is critical, and it's very important that we have it out there on the landscape, but we've got to be careful. We have to be respectful of it.
After spending a few hours in the classroom, the group travels to an old campsite to put their knowledge to work.
Just spray it right at the base of the flame.
And after familiarizing themselves with equipment,
We're getting about a 6 to 7 mile an hour wind.
it's time to practice.
Work your way all the way around.
The landowners create a ring of fire around the ground to be burned, and pretty soon,
It's certainly risky business. I mean, when you put fire out there on the landscape, you yourself are at risk.
and limiting risks is what this workshop intends to do.
I'm grateful that they're willing to spend some time to learn how to do this safely and effectively, and I hope that those messages were conveyed to them well, and I hope that they can go forth and do good things for the land.
It is very important for landowners to contact neighbors, the police department on its non-emergency line, and even the fire department before starting a prescribed burn. Here are some tips from the workshop. Attend a training course to learn about safety and how to go about burning. Figure out the best technique to burn your land. Have a crew and use proper equipment. Be mindful of the wind and don't burn if it's too windy. For more tips and information, visit potcoconservation.com. Now for news around the Bluffs. Sponsored by Mr. Ed's Flagpole Company of Council Bluffs, right off Valley View Drive between Madison Avenue and Highway 92. Being a parent can be a challenge, and when children misbehave, it can be even more difficult. To help parents find the right things to say and do to stop the tantrums and the talking back, author Michael Brandwine offers a workshop at the Council Bluffs Public Library Thursday, March 13th. He talks about techniques that guide children to make better choices and to stop the fighting, grabbing, whining, and more.
The reason children misbehave is usually because it works for them. It's not because they're evil or devilish. It's just that because if in the past grabbing something, for example, from a sibling allowed them to get the toy, then they're going to do it again because last time they were able to get the toy. And if nobody says anything to them, then they're going to do it again.
Brandwine demonstrates how parents should react to children who express negative behaviors. One tip is to stop whatever it is you're doing, look your child in the eyes, and use a calm voice to tell them what they're doing wrong and what they can do that is right. Statistics show that 70% of adults are unprepared when it comes to their finances and legal documents nearing the end of their lives. The harsh reality is that no one knows when the end is going to come. In order to spread information on the subject, Hoy Kilnowski Funeral Home in Council Bluffs hosts a free informational seminar March 13th on end-of-life preparation.
These aren't fun things, going in the nursing home, dying. I mean, we don't want to think about this stuff. You ask me if I want to go to Hawaii, I'll plan for two years. So for the most part, it's not that people are unprepared, it's that what I find is they don't have the right information.
There's never a wrong time. My husband and I are in our mid-30s and we've started. Accidents happen, unfortunate things happen.
In addition to the valuable information the guest speakers provided, attendees were treated to a free meal and a free take-home information packet. Council Bluffs Police Chief Ralph O'Donnell worked his last day Friday, March 14th. After more than 5 years as chief and 37 years with the department, O'Donnell is retiring. A celebration at the Council Bluffs Public Library will be on April 4th at 1 o'clock. City Council members approved the mayor's budget Monday, March 10th for the 2014-2015 fiscal year. The $120 million budget did not increase the levy, reduce the overtime pay budget, and clarifies $42 million of the budget comes from property taxes. The majority of the council is highly supportive. Coming up on Council Bluffs News, Miss Iowa 2013 makes a visit to Iowa Western, see why in the Reaver B. And after the break, Laurel Ronk of the Bluffs Arts Council joins us for an in-studio interview to reveal a series of workshops for artists. Stay tuned.
Pricing their work, how do I promote my work? I've never done anything with social media, how do I do that?
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, our goal is to help you, your families, and your businesses grow and prosper for generations. We take pride in our community, whether it's volunteering our time or helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We provide you with the personal service and attention you deserve. With over 220 years of banking experience, decisions are made locally. We are Council Bluffs people operating at Council Bluffs Bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Council Bluffs Savings Bank, hometown banking, the way it used to be. Member FDIC.
What does the world have in store for you? It's all here. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Welcome back to Council Bluffs News. I'm Marie Zeitner. Joining me in studio today is Executive Director of the Bluffs Arts Council, Laurel Ronk. Thank you for being here, Laurel.
Thank you for having me.
Laurel, go ahead and tell me some of the events that the Bluffs Arts Council is hosting.
We are working on several things coming up in the spring. On Thursday night, we have an actor named Duffy Hudson who will be presenting himself as Edgar Allan Poe. And he will be talking about The Raven and other poetry by Edgar Allan Poe. He has performed for us before, and it does an excellent job. So that's Thursday night at the library, 7 p.m., and it's open to the public.
Okay. And you guys also have some workshops going on for artists.
We do. We are so blessed to have a number of artists in our community, and a number of them have contacted me and asked me questions about different things, pricing their work, how do I promote my work, I've never done anything with social media, how do I do that? And so I thought it might be a good idea to get somebody who has practical application skills to share with our local artists. So we have 10 workshops coming up, 3 of them at the end of March, 3 in April, and then 4 in May. We've priced them very affordable. They're $15 a piece, and you can sign up for all 10 of them, and you'll get a little bit of a discount. Each one will be held at the Harvester Lofts in Council Bluffs, and So we're looking forward to those workshops.
And what kind of artists are attracted to these kind of classes?
Well, I guess rather than artists, because sometimes when people think of artists, they think of a painter. So I should probably say creative people. That could be anybody in the performing arts, writers, literary arts, poets, those kinds of things. And of course our visual artists as well. So any genre of art.
And they are in March, April, and May.
Correct.
And is there a registration that they have to go through?
Yes, they can either call the office, and that number is 712-328-4992, or they can go to our website, which is bluffsarts.org.
Okay, is there a specific date that they need to register by?
Yes, the first three start on March 28th, so we would like to know a day or two ahead of time how many. So March 26th probably would be a good registration deadline.
Why is it important for there to be artists in the community?
Well, if you think of our lives as we go through our days, and if you could imagine not having music or color or interesting visuals, if you take all of that away, then we really are kind of a black and white society. So it colors our lives. It's the culture, it's the color, it identifies who we are, and it just makes life more creative and spicy, and it's kind of the icing on the cake.
And more fun.
Exactly.
Laurel, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Time now for Pets of the Week. Driven by Acura of Omaha, online at acuraofomaha.com.
Hi, my name is Misty Bino, and I'm a volunteer with Solace, support our local animal shelter. This guy here is Ozzy. He's about 9 years old. He's a schnauzer. He was adopted out here in 2009, and this time he was brought back because his owner is moving and they couldn't take him with. Poor Ozzy. If you are interested in adopting Ozzy, he is housebroken, great with kids except for the real little ones, and his file number is 3397. This is Felix. Felix is about 3 years old. He was found as a stray on 16th and Avenue E. He has a very intimidating face, but it's actually normal for the blue heeler. And he's a blue heeler mix because we found him as a stray, so we don't know for sure. But he is a very smart dog. He actually knows sit, down, and roll over, which we have learned just from his time being in the shelter. He has been here since March 3rd. So if you are interested in adopting Felix, his file number is 3285. What a great boy. This is Ninja. Ninja is a female, gray and white, domestic medium hair. She's about 9 months old. She was surrendered here. Her owners could no longer care for her. She is a super sweet kitty, always uses the litter box, and they said she has a great attitude. If you are interested in adopting Ninja, her file number is 3161. This is Simi, the Siamese. Simi is about 9 years old. He's a chocolate point Siamese mix. He is also front declawed. He was surrendered here to the shelter because his family could no longer afford him anymore. He is a super sweet boy and very talkative. If you are interested in adopting Simi, his file number is 3346. If you are interested in any of the pets that you've seen here today, you can come down to the Council Bluffs Animal Shelter at 2821 South 15th Street here in Council Bluffs.
Still to come on Council Bluffs News, Miss Iowa 2013 Nicole Kelly changes roles and becomes the judge for Iowa Western's talent show. Plus, our weekly events calendar next.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
Welcome back to Council Bluffs News. Education is a hot topic no matter where you live, and the Council Bluffs Community School District is trying to put their best foot forward. The district is seeing record graduation rates. Since 2005, the percentage has been increasing, and in 2012, the graduation rate for students completing high school within 5 years was 88.71%. CB Community School District Superintendent Dr. Martha Bruckner says the continued growth in the graduation rate is made possible by an intentional focus on the success of every child in our schools, combined with the phenomenal support from the community. Now here's IWTV student Shelby Jones with the River Beat.
Hey Reavers, I'm Shelby Jones, your anchor of the River Beat. On this edition, we learn why Miss Iowa judged some of Iowa Western students' talents. But first, a few Iowa Western instructors are among the best in the country. Radio Program Chair Casey Richter explains what the award is all about.
I received the Excellence Award from John and Sue Ann Roosh for the League for Innovation in the Community College. The deans chose us as people who exhibited best practices or excellence in the classroom or in student services.
Nicole Uranek also received this prestigious recognition.
I've always been teaching public speaking and interpersonal communication, and I also do intercultural communication from time to time.
They gave us a medal, first of all, which is very cool, so we got to wear that around and feel pretty awesome. They had a little dessert reception that we went to. They had kind of a kickoff ceremony, and then they did have a ceremony at the very end of the conference where they acknowledged that we are all innovators in the classroom and experts in student engagement and exhibit excellence in our institutions.
We had an award ceremony with John and Sue Ann Roosh speaking at the conference, and it was kind of nice to meet them, see their history with community colleges, and see why it was really so important that we were accepting the award.
And Casey says that she's always trying new things in the classroom.
This is my 6th year at Iowa Western. In that time, I've gone from 1 program to 3, and every year just try to add new things into what we do into the classroom and try to get better at my craft.
Congratulations to Casey and Nicole and the other staff members who received this award, Brandon Windmuller and Carrie Zimmer. Miss Iowa makes an appearance at Iowa Western on March 12th. IWTV student Raven Pappas has the story.
On March 12th, Iowa Western opened the Student Center doors to host a talent show with the beautiful Nicole Kelly as a guest star on the judge panel. Although some may look at pageant winner for Miss Iowa 2013 as someone with a disability, she has nevertheless been very successful.
I grew up in a household where I was treated as though I was old. Having one hand was never allowed to be an excuse in my house.
Born without her left hand, Miss Kelly, at age 23, has beat all odds and now speaks out publicly about her journey and encourages others with disabilities to live their dreams.
We just need to change what that is into what is the ability that you do have. And so focusing on the things that you can do and you can achieve and how you can be some sort of success in society and sharing with everybody else.
And there was plenty of that at the talent show. From singing to dancing to stand-up comedy, the talent and ability in the room was amazing.
I did a mixture of acrobatics, some martial arts, some foreign stuff from Taekwondo, and just dancing, dubstep dancing.
Winner of the talent show, Travion Clark, blew the judges out of the water with his flawlessly executed dance performance. With skills like that, you've got to wonder who influences his talent.
Bruce Lee, of course, I did the Bruce Lee performance today. Michael Jackson, definitely a huge role model. And my mom, I love my mom.
For Miss Kelly, being a judge this time instead of a contestant deemed to be a difficult task.
Judging your guys' talent show was the first time I've been on the other side of the table and been the judge, and it's a hard thing because you're so rooting for everyone.
Nicole Kelly now is being noticed by many because of her title and her courageous story.
To be Miss Iowa is so much fun, but it's also very strange because it's very usual now for me to just not think twice about putting a crown on my head and for me to not think twice about taking photos with people or signing my autograph.
After a night of uplifting words and amazing talent, it's safe to say the event was a success. The talent show was sponsored by Iowa Western Student Life and SWTRRC. With CBTV, I'm Raven Pappas.
A fun and inspirational night for everyone. Let's take a look at the River Beat calendar. The Laramie Project Theater production comes to the Arts Center on April 4th. This play centers around the reaction to the 1998 murder of gay college student Matthew Shepard. On April 10th, check out the Money Smart Week event, the College Geocache at the cafeteria from 11 to 1. Geocache is a worldwide treasure hunt where you can find unique items hidden throughout the town. And volunteers are needed for the 3rd annual Anti-Gravity Games on Saturday, May 10th from 8 to 2. This is where high schools are invited and they build model rockets to launch at the event. If you are interested in volunteering, please contact Stacy Shockey at 712-325-3269. And that's it for this edition of the River Beat. If you have any story ideas, message me on the River Beat Facebook page and be sure to like us while you're there. I'm Shelby Jones and I'll see you on campus.
Time now for our weekly events calendar. Registration for the 2014 Potawatomi Conservation Summer Nature Camp begins March 24th. The variety of outdoor activities run from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and participants are required to bring a sack lunch for each day. Costs of Discovery, Explorers, Voyagers, and Pathfinders camps are $75 per camper. Register by calling Tina Popson at 712-328-5831 or email her at tina.popson@potcounty.com. For more information, visit potcoconservation.com. The Community Resource Fair will take place at Thomas Jefferson High School Thursday, March 27th from 5 to 7:30. Community members are invited to the night of learning, sharing, and giving back. Free food will be provided. The West Fair Queen Committee is now accepting applications for this year's pageant. The entry fee is $100, and to be eligible, participants must be between 16 and 21 years old, cannot be married, and cannot have children. Contestants are also required to have local businesses sponsor them. They must be available during the fair July 23rd through the 28th. For more information, email Nikki Woods at nwoods@npdodge.com or info@westfairevents.com. The deadline to enter is March 31st. Thanks for watching this week's Council Bluffs News. CBTV is always looking for your feedback. You can send comments and questions to cbtv@iwcc.edu. Call 712-325-3312 or message us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/cbtv17. For your Council Bluffs News, I'm Marie Zeitner. See you next time.